Good morning or afternoon or evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. This is your friendly neighborhood professor, Professor Wheeler, coming at you with some clarifications about your final paper for this course. Hopefully you have gone through the visual rhetoric PowerPoint that is in content for you. If not, you will need to do that before listening to this video. All right, hopefully you've had a chance to do that. Now I want to explain in a little more depth the examples that are on this PowerPoint. First of all, you're going to be doing three things with this assignment. First, you're going to be selecting a photograph from the hyperlinks that I've included in the PowerPoint. One is to a collection called 100 Photographs That Changed the World from Life magazine. The second and third are from the PulitzerPrize.org website, and you may choose either feature photography or editorial cartooning. Those are the two categories. I will not approve images that are not within these collections, and there's a reason for that. First of all, the photograph has to have enough significance to warrant your research. There has to be enough to say about it. I've been doing this assignment for a very long time, and I know which photographs yield the best results. If you're unsure and you say, hey, Professor Wheeler, I'm trying to decide between these two or three images, which do you feel has the most potential for a good paper? I will certainly help you with that. Or if you need help just kind of talking it out and seeing where you can go with it, I can do that for you as well. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the paper itself. All right, so you've selected your image. The first image that you will see on the PowerPoint is of the first X-ray ever taken. It is of the photographer's wife's hand. You will see the image of the X-ray, nothing startling to us because we've had X-rays for a very long time now. But before X-ray technology was invented, surgeons had to find out what was wrong with you through generally exploratory surgery. Many times surgeries that would not be necessary had X-ray technology been available, or now with the exploratory surgery, they may have to go in several times because what they thought was wrong perhaps wasn't in the right area. A lot of reasons, right, of why X-ray technology was problematic. Why life before X-ray technology was problematic. Okay. So the first part of your paper will be about that. What happened before the image was taken. Then you would talk about the reaction to the image itself. You can hopefully understand how life-changing this was for physicians and their patients. Look for primary source documents. What are the differences between primary and secondary source document? Well, there's a little video for you in content, if you should forget. But it's pretty easy to remember. Remember, primary means first, right? So think about first on the scene. So that's going to be things like first-hand accounts in newspapers, in diaries, in interviews by people who were there when the event actually happened. There can also be scientific journals and things like that that are talking about what is happening in the moment, okay? Then the third part of your paper would be why the image still remains relevant. Well, it still remains relevant because that technology in its infancy has grown to include things like MRIs and CAT scans, all kinds of technology that grew out of this original photograph of the X-ray. So that's how you would approach something like that. There are several other slides within the PowerPoint giving you different examples. You are certainly welcome to choose one of the images in the PowerPoint. That's perfectly fine. But remember, your paper must have three parts: what life was like before the image was taken, reaction to the image itself, and what came about as a result of that image. Now, you can also take an image that's politically, easy for me to say, politically significant. There are several images from the civil rights movement, for example. So this would be quite easy, especially given the civil rights content I've exposed you to in this course, right? So we would talk about things like slavery, like Jim Crow, like the civil rights movement. Then I'm speaking here of the image in the PowerPoint that is of three teenagers being blasted with a fire hose during the civil rights movement. Well, when those images got out to around the world, remember, we are living many decades before a 24-hour news cycle, correct? So people were not seeing these images unless they happened to live in that general area. Well, when these images became known to people in the North throughout the world, that's when the freedom rides started. Freedom rides were Black and white people demanding civil rights for minorities. And then, of course, you would look at today. And you might want to reference back to the Ta-Nehisi Coates essay on the case for reparations and how, while many things have gotten better, much work needs to be done. Okay, so once again, those three parts, right? What life was like before, why the image was important, what is its continuing significance, whether it's the image itself or the history and future that came from that image, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Okay, other things that you will need for this paper. You will need sources. The only paper you wrote for me in this class was your literacy narrative, which was all about you, but everything else has required sources. Now, up to this point, I have only required internet searches. This time, I'm going to require both books and scholarly articles. Now, it's going to be up to you to avail yourself of library research sources. I will put up a PowerPoint regarding books and other periodicals. You already have the one about internet citations, but I will put another one up here shortly. How many sources do you need? I don't know, not 2, not 3. I would say between 5 and 7 would be a good number for this course. Certainly not less than, or this paper, certainly not less than 4 if you're going to stick me to it, because you have so much to say. In fact, 4 to 7, whatever I said, is the minimum really that you would need to write a very researched paper. Remember, this is not your opinion. You are analyzing, built on the voices of others who came before you, because you too, my friends, are a secondary source. I guess I should say something about secondary sources, right? Secondary sources are anything that reflects or analyzes on the primary source material. First, you were there. Second, you're analyzing, okay? You need both kinds of documents in your paper to round out that ethos of you as a writer, right? You have done your due diligence to come to these conclusions about the continuing importance of this photograph for its field. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Please come to me. I am very responsive to text, especially. I check my email all the time as well. Wanting to make you successful in this course. I know it's not the easiest thing to do, to take an English class online, and I'm really trying to be here for you. So please do reach out. I don't know you need help unless you tell me. Okay, so anyway, have fun researching. This is my favorite project of the class, and I hope you learn and enjoy from the process as well. See you soon.